Hello and welcome back to SimCity 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fort Ferguson, and today we are kicking things off with a new city. A city that I want to have a focus on gambling and tourism. I want Fort Ferguson to be the cultural hub of the region. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right to it. We are going to begin as we mean to go on, which means that we are going to need to just get a very, very basic layout going on here. Now let's see, can I get this to line up properly? I can go to there, which I guess is fine. Let's just run to there and to there. And we're just going to create a very, very basic series of grids, because I don't really think we need anything too complicated just at the moment. Plus, I do know for a fact that the wind in this city is blowing that way. So we're going to need to put our industry right by the entrance of the city, which will be interesting indeed. But not too much of a big deal because, let's be honest, it's a gambling city. Most of the cool stuff in the city does need to be done by the coast, in my opinion anyway. So having the industrial zoning right at the entrance isn't really much of a problem. What I'm going to do is just expand this a little bit further to about there, and there, and there. Then I'll not bother connecting through there just at the moment. What I'll do is just go like that, and go like that, and across again. So my thinking here is we're going to want plenty of zoning. There is a lot of demand in the region for commercial and industrial zoning, so industry can exist in those industry is going to exist in those spaces. Commercial is going to exist in those spaces, and residential in those spaces. Then I think up there as well, and I think maybe a little bit commercial on that side wouldn't hurt. Bit of industry there as well. So that's going to be pretty good. That's a nice mix of things. And as we always do when we begin a city, this is basically going to act as a battery. We are going to need to get ourselves some power generation. I'm thinking that the wind power plant would be... It would be nice to have, but I'm just going to jump in with the coal power plant right away. And I'm going to hope... Actually, yeah, I'll jump in with the coal power plant right away, which is a risky move, but hopefully I can make it work. Also going to get some water just up that way. And that'll hopefully be enough to give everyone in the city some water. Definitely a lot of zoning going on over here, my god. That's definitely from the region as well. There's no way that's local demand picking up that quickly. But that's good. That means we're going to have a lot of people coming in pretty quickly. So we should be okay here. And I'm definitely excited to continue this road here straight through all of this at some point. It does mean I'm going to have to bulldoze a lot of people, but, you know, right now it's important that we get some income. Later down the line, we'll deal with, you know, actually having a layout here. I do want to say my idea for this, like I said, is to have all of the tourism stuff sort of done on the coast and a little bit up here as well. This is probably going to be more gambling focused down here, then the tourism stuff can go up in the cliff. Then up here, we can maybe do some residential, but this area here is specifically going to be industry. But the way I want to do that is I want to continue this avenue road straight through to about this point. And this is the point where it will connect to the city. Then we'll have roads that sort of come back to these areas so that this road doesn't get too busy initially and you do get right into the heart of the city without having to go along a bunch of, well, I guess industrial roads. That's the hope anyway. Whether or not that works, well, that's yet to be seen. Let's have a little look here. So we can currently get the town hall, which is good. I don't necessarily know where I want to put that, but getting the town hall is definitely a good thing. I think we'll look into that in just a little bit once we go ahead and expand a little bit further, because that is a thing that we absolutely need to do. So if we go to about there, we go to about there, and to there, we can actually fill up that space with even more zoning. All right, beautiful. So let's fill up that side, and we'll do that just up there. All right, and that'll totally increase the amount of money we have coming into Fort Ferguson. I do like this area. It's going to be an interesting challenge to make this look good as well. I mean, we do already have the ramps that the roads are going to take, so it's sort of already planned, but it's still going to be super, super interesting. I'm also thinking the town hall could look really good just like here. It's just a lot of money. It's a lot of money to get up to there. But I guess if I was to do something like... Can I put it right on the edge? Like if I go right there-ish. Something a bit like that. Can I put my town hall? I can. It can totally go up there. Well, that's happening. It might not be connected to anything, but that's happening. I mean, I don't know how useful this thing's going to be. I can't imagine it can actually hire anyone, but that's where the town hall's going to live. I really don't want to rename Fort Ferguson. I like the name Fort Ferguson. It's a pretty good name. Pretty good name. I'm liking it. All right, so these guys have some things they'd like to talk to me about. What do you want? If we really want transportation in this town to progress, we need to capitalize on our rail connection. What do you say? Maybe ask me later, buddy. I don't think it's a good time to connect to the train network. The connection is in a good place, though, right in the heart of the tourism area. What's this gonna be? Mayor, I'm fine with being left in the dark in terms of how the government is run, but this is ridiculous. Maybe buy power from a neighboring city? Maybe ask me later? That was a very manly voice for a woman, but okay. What do we got here? Mayor ConflictNerd, Omega Co. is always looking to expand, and Fort Ferguson looks like the perfect city to sell Omega. Industry is barking at the door to get their hands on Omega, so let's build a factory and start pumping it out. If we deliver enough factories, we can convert... If we deliver enough to factories, we can convert them to franchises and then charge franchise fees. Maybe ask me later. That's probably a good idea. Alright, so we are going to do Omega in this city because we are going to need a little bit of, you know, industry here. Not that much, just a little bit. I do want industry in this city because getting those basic jobs is always very important. But at the same time, you know, I don't want to overdo it with Omega Co. So we're going to be very careful not to do that. Now this, I can't really see. It's really dark and it's making it difficult to see where exactly I want to put this road. I feel like that's the slope, but I'm not going to place it until I actually know for sure. I'm also going to go ahead and possibly upgrade those roads because I might as well make them into straights. So there we go. That looks pretty good up there, though. I like it. I do. It does need a good road connection, but we'll get that done eventually. As for the rest of this space, we still have some pretty decent demand for residential zoning, so maybe I'll go ahead and start... I think it's a good idea to do gambling down here with commercial, then tourism up here, then residential up here. So with that, let's start planning the residential zoning. That seems like a good idea. So basically, I want to go like that, and then just sort of like that. Now that's potentially bad, but that's all right. We'll make it work. We'll go to there, and we'll go to, I guess, there. That seems fine. So that's the way the residential is going to flow there. I can't see for the rest of it. I can't see where it needs to go. It's getting light though. That's good. That's exactly what I need. So let's go like that. Let's go like that. And then curve along the cliff like so. I know putting roads along the cliff isn't the best thing, but I'm kind of liking it. It's kind of cool. It's doing all right. We'll connect you to there and you to there. And there we go. So that seems like a pretty good space to me. Gonna run a couple of straight roads down through there. And down through there as well. This is a lot of planning very early on. Good lord. This bit here is the slope that I want to work with. So let's maybe just delete a couple of sections of road from there. Just like that. So I can get the slope up here properly. Because the slope is absolutely... We need some sewage treatment in a second as well. I totally forgot about that. Let's just do that. So we're going to do a big old bit of avenue coming up to there. And I feel like that big old bit of avenue needs to... I mean, it does just need to connect here, doesn't it? So if I did something like that, maybe. Or if I did that kind of thing. So it curves into there. This can just connect straight across. And that seems okay to me. I feel like getting rid of that bit of avenue is fine. Because once these roads are upgraded in terms of density, we'll be all right. So let's go ahead and see if we can get the rest of the avenue in here as well, because we're going to need a nice big straight section of avenue just there-ish. So something like that, which is expensive, definitely, but totally worth it. Then something like that, which is particularly steep, but it seems like it's the only real way I'm going to do this. Then I guess I just sort of want to curve this like so. And like so. A bit ugly, but we'll come back and we'll deal with that. At the moment, we just need the road connection. That's the thing. So if I do that kind of thing to there, very expensive to do this. I think we'll connect the rest of it with dirt, just so people can actually get to where they're going. So we'll connect you to there. And there we go. People can get up to this top area, which is great news. That's exactly what we want. Now, in terms of sewage, I'm just going to throw a big old sewage dump there. And that seems fine. There is a road connection here now, which is great news. Traffic is making its way up there, which is also great news. Let's do some residential zoning in here. Let's just fill it up. We can't fill that area, which is disappointing. I'm gonna pause, I think, because I kind of want this area filled. I want this bit to actually look all right. So, let's do that. Then we'll curve it across. Just sort of around like that. That seems alright to me. It's a bit weird, but it seems decent enough. I wonder if I would maybe be better connecting straight across here. That might be an idea. So just something like that, and then that. That seems alright to me. I like it. Let's see. Can we get some zoning in there? Yes, we can. Alright, we'll de-zone you, because I don't really want zoning there. Then we'll zone those bits, and we'll zone that bit. And that should be a pretty good bunch of residential zoning to kick off this area. Which is great news. That's exactly what we want. I do also think I might want to put a road across there. And I guess across there as well. Just to fill up that space even better. Or even more is probably the word I wanted to use there. What's your complaint here? What's up? The empty land near us is just enough space for an arcology. With an arcology, we can move lots of workers, shoppers, and students out to live in the arcology. That would save us space in the city for more industry and shops. What do you think, Mayor? I think get lost. I legitimately think get lost, buddy. Just get lost. Let's see, what are you complaining about? Government closed. I don't know why it's closed. We have workers. We could also do with some education, but I don't really think we need it right now. We have a university over in Callahan Canyon. I kind of want to get healthcare from elsewhere. But I guess I'll throw a medical clinic up here to sort of kick things off. Oh, I don't have the simoleons for it. Good lord. Alright, well, simoleons aren't going to be too much of an issue, considering this area should fill up pretty quickly. So I think we'll be alright in that front. I would really like to make this slope a little bit less nasty, but doesn't seem like that's going to be an option. Or maybe it will be. We'll see. We'll see if we can make it a bit less nasty at some point. For the meantime, I'm not too worried. We have a lot of traffic moving through here, a lot of people moving in. Money's looking pretty good, so I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. If we have a little look at the specialization, I mean, we have a lot of options. I'm going to be going for gambling to start with, which means we're going to need a small gambling house, which it can be expensive to run a small gambling house, but I think we'll manage. In terms of culture, that's really just going to be a case of adding things like, well, landmarks. So we're going to want a few of these. This thing here is actually a really good building to have because it has residents as well. So that could be nice. But, you know, we have things like this, we have Big Ben, we have this, the Eiffel Tower. Is it obvious I'm only pronouncing things I know I can pronounce? We have the Brandenburg Gate, we have the Empire State Building, we have that, we have the Globe Theatre, we have all of those as well, and we also have, like, Willis Tower as well. quite a few things. We also have the Expo Center, which I'm going to want. We have attractions, we have worship. I think maybe the Expo Center and the Pro Stadium could both be pretty cool to have, because the max profit from an Expo Center is basically 190,000 simoleons. The max profit from a Pro Stadium is 300,000, so we could be doing okay there. Now, there's a lot of traffic trying to get down to this part of the city at the moment, so I'm feeling it might be a good idea to pause and go ahead and run a pretty big road straight through all of this. That entire area, just one big old road, then continue that road over to there. And again, that was expensive, but that's okay. Then I'm going to run a medium density street off of that to there. So that's fine. That's what I want to do. Then I want to just disconnect the ends. We disconnect those little bits at the end, and it is going to bulldoze some houses, but that's okay. And what we end up with is two very separate areas. Obviously going to need to leave this connected in a couple of spaces, but I want to disconnect it there at the entrance to the city. And I'm going to disconnect it. I guess I'll leave those two spaces connected for the time being. But that means that traffic can, you know, easily move through the city, which is going to be very, very important. A lot of this traffic is, interestingly, turning around, which is a bit weird, but sure. It's definitely flowing better, kind of. I do definitely think this entire road needs upgraded as well. I think I might just sit and save some money, unless I take a bond. I could take a bond. Let's take a 100,000 simoleon bond. Expensive, but probably worth it. And go ahead and bulldoze that entire dirt road. Then bulldoze that road as well. And we'll go ahead and bring... I'll use a medium density avenue just to be sure that I can actually do this. We'll bring it to there. And we'll bring it to there. Now that's a pretty big curve, and I'm kind of okay with it. Let's see if I can get a nice little curve going here as well. So, I guess that's alright. Can I get a little curve here as well? Because that would look nice as well. Let's just go in with some medium density avenue. That kind of works. Then up here, I think we're going to want a curve as well. Just a little something like... Oh, hold up. Like that. That looks better. That looks noticeably better. Let's, I guess, go ahead and connect you. I don't want a curved bit of road, please. I just want that to go like that. So there we go. That's going to connect out to that space. Traffic can move a little bit quicker and hopefully be backed up a lot less. Definitely going to want to upgrade some of these roads to handle more traffic too. But for the meantime, this is good. This is definitely good. We have pretty good income. We're sitting on a decent amount of money, even if I did, you know, take a bond for it. That's still a decent amount of money to have. I think then what I want to do is go ahead and start planning the gambling area, which I said I want to be on the coast, so it's going to be on the coast. Let's go to there. And let's go to there. And let's see if I can just connect those 2 points together. It looks like the game isn't quite sure if it wants to let me do this. We'll go to there. Then to there. That looks fine to me. These little bits could definitely be curved. But other than that, I think this is going to be a pretty good sort of coastal road to put all of my my casinos on, which is beautiful. And then they all link back to the avenue, which is obviously super important. So we'll do, I guess, a couple of straight roads going through there. And a road going through there. We'll get a road sort of going to there. And a road sort of going to there. That seems good. That seems like a pretty good area to put all of the casinos. Then we can put some generic commercial zoning back there. This road here obviously needs to be upgraded as well, so let's get that done. We'll go to high density for it. That seems fine to me. And I think some of these roads in general could do with being upgraded. I also think it might be time to go ahead and curve a bit of road up this way. And it might be time to try and connect it to this avenue. So if I do just a straight bit of road there and do that, bulldoze you, and we have some pretty good connections. Alright, so that means I can totally come in here and delete these bits, which is going to be rough for traffic, to say the least. But I think it could also be kind of beneficial to just have the traffic flow into the city and then have to turn off further in the city than just here, and I'm hoping this works. I'm hoping this works. I've never really played with traffic all that much in SimCity, so this will be interesting, is what I'm trying to say. Let's go ahead and just connect through all of that space. Let's connect through all of that space. And we'll just... Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bulldoze that bit. That was not a part of the plan. We'll connect you. Bulldoze... Cannot bulldoze on fire. Well, that's a problem. That is definitely a problem. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a fire station. We're also going to want to sort out the zoning here. Good lord. That is messy indeed. We'll plop a fire station just over there. And I'll go ahead and just de-zone everything in that space. Alright, that's not so bad. That kind of works. Let's do that. And I'm excited to see this area develop. I'm hoping traffic will move around without too much hassle as well, but there's no guarantees here. This could be an absolute mess. Okie dokie, so I've gone ahead and upgraded some of the roads around here. We've got some low-density roads in what is going to become the industrial zone. And I've gone ahead and upgraded these roads here that actually follow the coast into some medium-density roads. Up this way, I've gone ahead and changed a lot of these roads into higher-density roads because traffic was backing up like crazy. And then there's some medium-density roads around here as well. I'm thinking that maybe we're going to want to change this avenue into a high-density avenue as well. Just simply because there is going to be a lot of traffic from here. There is only going to be one connecting road, of course. So we might want to do that. What I am going to do first, though, is bulldoze that up to about that point. I'd then like to go ahead and do a straight bit of avenue road like that. So that's going to run straight to that point. I want this to run sort of... Oh, no, that's a bit weird. Let's bulldoze you. And have this sort of run straight down like that. Then across. So that's going to be... You know, I'm basically planning for the future with this area. This is going to be quite grid-based. It is going to be the tourism central of the city. So having those grids... Why is traffic done here? What are you doing? I'm legitimately curious as to why traffic exists on this road. There's nothing there. That's really weird. Alright, well, I think what we need to do right away is we need a casino. It's 15,000 for a gambling house. We can upgrade. We can upgrade a gambling house. That is something that I'm probably going to want to do. But I'm going to put the gambling house right about, I think, there. So there we go. We have a gambling house. We'll see if this thing brings us profits or misery or whatever. Let's get ourselves a nice big sign as well, which I think should go right about there. Low-end casino. That's fair. That is fair. We can get some cheap rooms in here if we want to. We can get some nice rooms as well. We can get nickel slots. We can get blackjack tables. We can get comedy club. We can get a lounge. We can do all sorts with this. I'm not going to bother doing anything yet, though. Because I want to see if this thing's even going to generate a profit. Because it might not. Right now, we don't really have any connections. More tourists want to come to my city than my current transportation system can handle. Add or expand your mass transit options to serve more tourists. Absolutely. That is absolutely the problem. we are going to need a bus terminal. And I'm probably going to want the double-decker bus terminal because the buses can carry more people and it's the same price. So I'm not too worried. That said, if I put just a bus stop there, that will bring buses from the region. So I think that might be an idea. Get some buses here from the region, get some tourists from Callahan Canyon and good old Mackenzie Point. Almost forgot the name. Let's pretend that I didn't. Good old Mackenzie Point, though. Got some buses up that way, too. And hopefully we'll see some buses coming in sooner as opposed to later so that we can get some people gambling. That's what I want to see. Today's profits are looking pretty rough, to be honest. There's a few people in there, though. We have, I mean, actually it says that there's no one at all in there. Oh, no, there is. There's some low-wealth tourists, some medium-wealth tourists. We're actually making some money. It's only 8 simoleons per day, but that's better than nothing. So hopefully this thing will legitimately start making some money. That would be nice. We are going to have issues with crime in the city. That is something definitely worth keeping in mind, because gambling can result in crime. So we're going to want to get ourselves a police station. Now, there is a bit of a crime wave, but unfortunately, I'm just going to throw my police... Wait, do I even have a medical clinic? Did I place one? I don't think I did. I don't actually think I ever got around to placing a medical clinic. So I guess... yeah, I was going to throw it there, but I never did. Okay, we'll throw it there. That seems fine. So that'll hopefully serve people well. As for the police station that we can't currently afford, I feel like it could do well just there. A little bit difficult to expand there, but I feel like a police station there is a fair place for it. So once we have the money, once we have 30,000 simoleons, we'll do that. There is a known criminal right there. Bumpy Reese. He's a criminal. Can we do anything about that, or are we just going to sort of let him do his thing? Because sort of letting him do his thing doesn't seem like a great idea, I'm going to be honest. Sort of letting Bumpy Reese just run about doesn't seem like a thing I want to do. What's up with you? Shoplifting in progress. Yeah, we don't have much in the way of crime coverage. I'll be honest, we really don't. We don't have any cops at all. What I will do is I will just throw the police station there. Which, you know, that'll hopefully help. We don't currently have any cops, but we'll get some eventually. Money's definitely not looking good. Can I increase taxes? Yes, I can. They are going to 11% across the board, if I do say so myself. There we go. So we're getting 1,500 simoleons per hour in, well, terms of taxes and whatever. What's currently costing us a lot? Bonds are costing us a lot. So if we can get the money to pay this off, that'd be nice. We'd be saving 694 simoleons per hour. We are spending a lot on power. We're spending a lot on fire and health and police. We're spending a bit, but I think we can manage. I don't think it's too much of a big deal. This is currently making 3,188 per day, which is great news. That's not even with that many tourists. We really don't have that many tourists here, and we could look into expanding this thing at some point. Some cheap rooms will add 60 spaces for low wealth tourists. This will add 30 spaces for medium wealth tourists. This adds... Actually, no, just... Oh, no. I see. Right, hold on. So basically, it is lodging. This adds some lodging for the tourists. So 60 low wealth rooms, 30 medium wealth rooms. This, the nickel slots, adds 45 low wealth gambler capacity. The blackjack tables is 30 medium wealth gambler capacity. Then the comedy club will attract more tourists, and then the lounge will attract more tourists as well. I'm sort of feeling like a comedy club might be a good addition. Sort of just like there, perhaps, right at the corner. Let's do it. Let's add a comedy club. We'll attract more low wealth tourists. Seems pretty good to me. It's not too expensive either. Same with the lounge, to be honest. It's a bit expensive to place, but it's not that expensive per hour, and generally attracting more tourists seems like a pretty good idea to me. So we're gonna invest a little bit in this gambling house. It's making some pretty good money. It's 3,825 per day in profit. 4,100. Yeah, it's doing well. Let's get ourselves a lounge as well. Just there. And that'll hopefully attract a whole bunch of tourists to the city. Those are some pretty cool buildings as well. Definitely nice to see. Mackenzie points, the city is so futuristic that the drones they've sold to every man, woman, and child are now starting to run amok in Fort Ferguson. Really? We're having drone issues? Okay. Apparently we're also having coal issues. Are we not importing? Accept global deliveries. Oh boy. That's bad. We're gonna have to accept some global deliveries. Can we mine coal here? What is this? An oil well. Petroleum oil refinery. That is a coal mine. There is a fair bit of coal just here. To be honest, oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying that it is also up here, right in the middle of the residential zone. I'm not okay with that. What if we moved our industry from here to up here? And then we have, like, the tourism area, the gambling area, the residential area, then industrial up here. Because that way we could mine our own coal. And we wouldn't need to worry about running low on it. We wouldn't need to spend 6,000 importing it. I don't know. That's a tricky one. That is definitely a tricky one. That's a difficult question. I don't know what to do in regards to that. I legitimately don't know what to do. It's because spending 6,000 to import coal to power the city isn't really a thing I want to do. I mean, obviously, I could get something like the nuclear plant, but we need highly educated Sims. And if we don't have highly educated Sims, we run the risk of this thing blowing up. We don't want that to happen. We could potentially get wind power. That is a thing we could do. There is also solar. Maybe we want to look into wind. Maybe we try and make this a completely green city. That might be an idea. It's not a bad one either. That might be a legitimate idea that we have to go for. Let's see. What can I do to expand you? How are you doing, actually? You're still not full. So that's not really... I'm not really interested in providing more space for... I mean, the thing is, there's no lodgers at all. There's no space at this gambling house for lodgers at all. And I kind of need to pick between getting more nickel slots and blackjack tables, so more space for gamblers, or I can get lodgers. Which, I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do with this. Lodgers would be nice, but do we need them? I'm not necessarily feeling that we do. But again, it would be nice to have some low-end tourism or low-end lodging for tourists, I guess, if you wanted to be right next to a casino. Alternatively, we do just add more slot. I think I'll just go with the lodging. Let's just do the lodging. Let's get that in there. Some casino lodging, and then we can get the higher-end lodging up there. The question is anyone using it? There are, actually. There's 5 people using it. So that's not so bad. That's kind of promising. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think with that, I'm going to leave it there for today. We have our first casino. We do also have a question, you know, do we get rid of the industry here and move it up this way, which I think I'm going to have to do if I want to power this place via coal. I think it would make sense. Alternatively, if we even wanted to power it with something like wind or solar, having a bit more space up here would be good. The downside, of course, is that the train line runs in here. Now, that's good because we can put a cargo train terminal there, I think. That is a thing we can do, right? There is like a cargo... No, yeah, there is. There is the, like, cargo thing you can get with the trade what is it, the trade depot, the trade port, I think it is. You can get cargo trains there. So maybe what we're going to have to do is just run a train line sort of down into the city. That's probably a thing we'll have to do at some point as opposed to anything else. We could just run it sort of down this way and have a train station in here, but there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of potential things we could do. There's definitely a lot of potential things we could do. What I will do for the time being is fill up this space with some commercial zoning. I know what you're thinking. I know you're going to say you place way too much commercial zoning, but I'd like to point out there is regional demand for it. So this will fill up, this will be fine, this will generate revenue, and revenue is exactly what we need. I think just before we go, I am going to go ahead and place that. And that's that gambling house pretty much finished. I do also think maybe we might want to look into placing like a police station just there-ish. I didn't realize it was so big. Good lord, that's a big building. Can I get anything in there? Oh, I can get a medical clinic in there, which I think is a thing we'll want as well. So medical clinic can go in there. A firehouse is also probably a thing we might want in there. But this is good. We're making some pretty good money. Fort Ferguson is currently a bit of a success. So, yes. Thank you kindly for watching. This has been SimCity 2013. And I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.